My name is Torrefranca, and for the past 6 months, I've dedicated my life to writing the Belladonna trilogy. To ensure the books are as authentic as possible, I've been chasing new experiences related to the story, and I've been documenting these adventures in my Belladonna behind-the-scenes YouTube series.
I could not do that. You're insane.
Do what?
All of that. Do you do anything else?
Not really, no. This is just my life now.
Just life is Belladonna. Nothing else matters.
I have 6 main characters in Belladonna, so for the challenge, I dedicated 4 hours to each of them. But before I show you how it went, let me explain why I did this in the first place. In early 2022, I shared Draft 1 of Nightshade Academy, the first Belladonna book, with a group of beta readers. My goal was to gather constructive criticism to improve the story before publication, and they had a lot to say about the characters.
I'm Brian Goss, a teen author, booktuber, and beta reader for Mel's trilogy. I feel like there are a few character personalities that just don't add up.
I think that the aspect of Nightshade Academy that needs the most work are the characters. Sometimes it felt hard to connect with the characters or see their reasonings when they made certain decisions.
The motivations of all the characters weren't really a present or driving force throughout the story, even though they were there.
I also feel that the secondary characters need a little bit more work, just a little. They don't really feel fully fleshed out.
I found it hard to see how the characters had grown emotionally throughout the story as well as physically.
Maybe describe your characters a little better. I just had a harder time picturing them in my head.
I'd been putting this off for weeks, and I thought it was about time to suck it up and get some character work done. I figured in 24 hours I could make a dent in my massive list of revisions. It's 3:26 a.m. The first outfit I'm wearing is based on the Belladonna trainee uniform in Nightshade Academy. I am obsessed with the buttons. They look like mini Belladonna logos, but that is just crazy. What better way to get into my characters' heads than to try to dress like them? And the challenge begins with Yashi Kanya.
Swadika.
My coffee is here.
Dressed up super fancy at 4 in the morning with my socks and sandals.
Moment of truth. It's strong. That's good. Let's go through some beta reader feedback.
Yashi, the main character of Nightshade Academy. I think Yashi was an enjoyable character to read about. I definitely didn't dislike him, but I think he had a lot of potential that went a little bit unexplored in the first draft.
There's a lot of moments that could have spiced him up that were ignored. I think his character got a lot more solid from the middle onward, but his character lacked motivation in the beginning.
His entire personality for a good portion of the book was just him being a hero, him wanting to do what's right. Because there wasn't many flaws or little quirks to Yashi like there was with the rest of the characters, I couldn't really connect with him very well for a long period of time.
My only issue with Yashi was his lack of a clear inner conflict to drive his decisions in the beginning.
I would love to see more internal dialogue for Yashi because I felt that his individual voice was lost in all the crazy things that were happening to him.
He's hot. Okay. I like him a lot closer to the end, but in the beginning and at the academy, I don't feel a connection to him at all. I actually have a plan to fix this. I need to completely rewrite the first 4 chapters. Those are the chapters that I'm going to be focusing on for this 4-hour session. Also, this coffee is really good. I'd been procrastinating on the first 4 chapters for weeks, but this was actually the most fun writing session I'd had in a long time. I had to take a brief break to change into my next outfit and introduce you to my favorite character of all time, Vel. This is the outfit, and of course, it wouldn't be complete without bread. I couldn't resist. Fun fact, the outfit I'm wearing here is the outfit the actress wore in a Belladonna-themed music video that I filmed last month. Wow. It has been so much fun to collaborate with Beisha on this project for her song, My World is on Fire. Keep your eyes peeled because the Belladonna-themed music video is coming to my channel next week on July 15th. Alright, let's get into the beta reader critiques.
My only critique for Vel is very small, and I would just say that it maybe would have been nice to get a little bit more clarity about her backstory and what exactly she was feeling in relation to the other characters.
Vel is the best, no comparison. She's literally me. I love Vel. She's sweet, she's cool, and she's loyal. I would love to have a Vel in my life. Watch me play matchmaker with my beta readers. Her backstory is cool, but isn't brought up in much depth. I love how you presented Vel. I think she could be better if you spent a bit more time on her backstory.
Vel's motivation of... There should have been some explanation where she had a conversation with Yashi and we see why it drives her so much.
I definitely agree with Emily and the example she gave about Vel's character motivation. Those are the scenes that I'm going to work on today. Everything was still going well, but the sleepiness was starting to creep in. I was not able to sleep like at all last night. I can feel the sleep deprivation. I still have 20 hours left of this. The camera is my distraction at this point, so go away. Leave me alone. I'm having some curry. Oh! I love it! A recent portrait. Drinks, fixation, coins. You did well. Huh. Unfortunate news. It's only noon. Oh no! I honestly already feel like I've pulled an all-nighter. I'm so tired. I feel my body deteriorating. This gives me Santi vibes. Just something very plain. He is probably the character that I relate to the most. I really vibe with Santi. So it's gonna be nice to hang out with Santi today for 4 hours. That sounds really weird. I do hang out with my characters technically, I guess. Santi hardly appears in book 1, so my beta readers didn't have much to say. I did some work on Santi's character in book 2, but I was feeling really drained. Thankfully, my roommate came to save the day.
2 coffees. Yes, sir. Best roomie ever.
I was feeling a little better at this point, but I definitely wasn't on a roll like I was that morning. It is currently 4 p.m. Halfway through the challenge. I'm already exhausted. Anyways, this is the outfit for Pin. I don't know if this looks good. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be.
He didn't seem to be in character a lot of times.
I thought I knew him, but every once in a while he would make a rude comment, and I honestly didn't know if I knew him at all. If I had to describe his personality, I wouldn't know where to begin.
He also seemed to be described as a smart character, but we never really see him use his knowledge or anything, so he didn't stick out to me that much.
Pinto is described as a really smart, lanky teen with an eye patch. But then we don't get to see any satisfying scenes with him raising his hand in class, knowing all the answers.
I don't care very much about him, although I want to. We sort of get the idea that he's smart, but that isn't demonstrated well. Here's me bobbing my head to some battle music to try to keep from falling asleep. I knew the changes I needed to make to address the inconsistency of Pin's personality, but I just couldn't get anything done. My brain was shutting off at this point. My legs are like giving out on me, I'm so tired. Kia is definitely the most controversial. She is a bit of a wild one. I hate her. Cunning, smart, a naive, spoiled brat. That's all there is to her. An asshole through and through. I hope to see her again, though I didn't like her. What I know about her, I like. I would definitely be disappointed if she didn't return in the series.
And lastly, as an extra thing, I would love more scenes with Princess Kaya. She was my favorite character just because of how unexpected she was. Her way of perceiving the world was so different from the way that Yashi perceived the world, and I loved hearing what she had to say. She was the character that made me think.
I loved whenever Princess Kia was on the page. I wish there was more of her. She didn't get a lot of page time. I hope there's more of her in the later books. A very unique character. Would love to see more of her. I think the answer is pretty obvious at this point. Readers want more Princess Kia, so I'm going to give it to them. Update? I'm losing it. At this point, I was delirious and moving like a sick sloth. Like, what was that? This is my outfit for Quacks. Kind of modern, but I didn't have any other options. It's getting to the point where I'm not even getting productive writing done. I'm like typing a sentence and deleting it. Would not recommend writing for 24 hours straight. It's not really working for me. It was good for like... Huh? I'm just sleepy. That's the only problem.
He is very different from the start of the book till the end, but there was no gradual development. I didn't think his transition was done well. He seemed like a one-dimensional character.
Quax's development is sort of skimmed. Later in the story, I felt like I didn't know Quax. He no longer matched the Quax I was used to. The sudden change in Quax was quite odd. Quax's arc felt brushed over. There didn't seem to be much of a transition at all. A lot of his growth occurred off-page. I would have liked to have seen it. Quax is one of my favorite characters now. I had spent the past week working on getting his development right, but liking Quax wasn't enough to keep me awake that night. I could hardly hold my eyes open, and I even forgot I was recording for a while. My mind was slipping. I'm so dead. I don't know why I do this to myself. The first 3 episodes of this series were fairly healthy, and this one is just like putting myself through pain, pure pain. Like there's no point to depriving myself of sleep, but I'm doing it anyway. I want to stay up for the challenge, but I'm literally getting nothing done. Like I'm just staring at the screen. So like there's kind of also not a point because I wouldn't be writing anything. I'm gonna stop this challenge 3 hours early. I know. I'm sorry. It is 1 a.m. I accept defeat. I had no idea what to do with this video after I filmed it. I failed the challenge, and I didn't make as much writing progress as I thought I would. So, what was the point to all of this? As I was going through beta reader feedback, it finally struck me. I went into this challenge thinking it would just be me, isolated in my apartment for 24 hours. In reality, I wasn't working on this book alone. I had feedback, thoughts, guidance from real people who believe in this project, which is insane. I've been asked why I care so much about beta reader feedback, or getting opinions on my work in general. After all, it's my story and I can make it whatever the hell I want it to be. Yeah, I could write a book and publish it exactly as I originally envisioned, but where's the fun in that? It's the people I've interacted with through the creation of this project that have made Belladonna's so incredibly life-changing for me. Being an artist isn't about setting deadlines and pumping out content as fast as you can. It's about enjoying the process, the people, the community, and just sticking along for the ride. Maybe my characters aren't completely my characters at all. Everyone who's been a part of this, from beta readers to friends and family to YouTube subscribers, now own a piece of this story. And it's all of you who inspire me to make Belladonna the absolute best it can be.